and welcome to the Sports Ladies Podcast. This is a sports show that we think you're going to love, whether you're a fan of Iga Swiatek or you've heard of Simone Biles before. I'm Ashlyn.
I'm Nifer.
And I'm Steph.
As a quick reminder, we're going to be spending the next few episodes of this show giving you some primers, basics, more information about some of the sports we're really looking forward to for the Olympics that are coming up later this summer. And just, we're getting the juices flowing. We're talking about the Olympics. It gets us all sentimental, all nostalgic. We just want to talk about some of our favorite Olympic memories. My favorite, I don't really remember when this happened. I felt young. It felt really exciting. I don't know if you guys remember the really intense swimming relay. I get it. Swimming. I can't stop talking about it. Whatever. Was this relay race that had Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte, two other guys who I don't remember their names. I'm a fake fan. I can't help it. Story of my life. Can't remember anybody's name. And it was this really intense relay race that the result was like this close to the team that came in second place. And I'll just never forget Michael Phelps doing that thing. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. I felt like that was everywhere.
It's kind of like what Jason Kelsey did more recently with the shirt off. Watching same motion of that.
I think that's a winner motion.
Yeah.
Winner motion.
It's giving winner.
Yeah. It is giving winner. I love that. That was an incredible moment. I feel like swimming has had a lot of really cool moments, especially U.S. swimming in the last since probably since the Beijing Olympics when Michael Phelps won all those. He got the most ever in a single Olympics. But obviously we're really good. We're really good in the water. What can I say?
We can't help it.
The memory I think of is actually, I have no idea what year it was, and I was probably too little to actually remember when it happened. But seeing videos of it again make me think of it. So it's the moment when Carrie Strug broke her ankle during the Olympics, and she was going to compete on the I can't remember the name of the event where you jump off of a platform and then do. Not the vault. Maybe it was the vault.
That is the vault. That's the vault.
It is the vault. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yes. The vault. I'm sorry. Wow. We are real professional sports podcasters, you guys. But she did the vault and nailed it. And she did it on a broken or sprained something ankle. And wow. It was just incredible. And she had this cute little stacked haircut that I also had because nobody knew what to do with my curly hair when I was a kid because I lived with my mom who had really straight hair and nobody knew what to do. So they just always cut it really short.
I get it. I also had a mom with straight hair.
Yep. So I just felt one with her. It was just an incredible moment. And I think if she had been just competing in the individual event, I don't know that she would have competed, but because it was for the team and it was just an incredible moment. I just think of the tenacity and I don't know that I could do it, but it was just an incredible thing to watch and And then she was on Life cereal box, you know what I mean? It was or Wheaties or something. It was just amazing.
The Breakfast of Champions,
The Breakfast of Champions.
As we know. As an athlete when you're on the Wheaties box. Although
that's right.
I've quite truly never eaten a box of Wheaties in my life.
Me either.
What?
I'm not a real athlete though.
I wonder if one can pay to put themselves on a box of Wheaties.
But I digress. Sure now you can. Anyway, Steph, tell us yours.
Olympic moment. I'm going to shout out our man, Muhammad Ali, who was lighting the Olympic torch in Atlanta in 96. Kind of gives me Goblet of Fire vibes. So when I reflect on that, I really like it. But it's just so special at home. I just,
it is.
The Olympics here. It will be special in Paris too, obviously. But I just love those Atlanta 96 vibes.
Very special. Amazing. We love it.
Amazing. Well, today we're going to be covering a couple of sports. Everyone's favorite, gymnastics. And then we're also going to be talking about tennis. Just as a reminder, the Olympics begin July 26th and run through August 11th. So if that's not written on your calendar, go ahead and put it in there so you can make sure you follow along. But without further ado, Steph, talk to us about the gymnastics
Oh,
event.
I'm so pumped to talk about gymnastics. First of all, did you guys know that the women's U.S. team, they have gotten a medal in the Olympic team competition in every Olympics since 1992? I mean,
Wow.
talk about butter because they are on a roll. So, a real theme for the U.S. women is, are they going to continue their dominance and get some sort of medal? I guess we'll see. Stay tuned. The U.S. men's just placed bronze in their world championships. So,
Mm-hmm.
that'll be exciting to see if that same energy and stamina kind of continues and rolls over into the Olympics.
Yeah.
Storylines, Gabby Douglas. She's like one of those pretty big name US gymnasts. She was staging a comeback for the ages. She kind of retired after the Rio Olympics, which was all the way back in 2016. And when you're 28 in gymnastic years, you're like pretty old. And she is 28 and she was staging a comeback. But she did hurt her ankle. So she withdrew her name from consideration. So she will not be on our team. But as there are two spots that are already locked in. So Simone Biles is one of them.
Wow,
And
Courtney's shocked.
I know. She already won the US Classic, so that's kind of like automatic bid. So she's waiting to see what four friends will join her on her team. And then for the men, his name is Brody Malone. So they are locked and loaded, ready to go. So we're waiting to see who else is going to be on their team, which the gymnastic trials is from June 27th to June 30th in Minnesota. So stay tuned and check that out and see.
Now,
I think
Biles have like 3 moves named after her at this point. I feel like how does anyone get better than that? I don't know.
She is super impressive.
She is very impressive. I do want to note that I think you can watch the swimming trials on Peacock. I think you can also watch the gymnastics. A lot of the U.S. trials are also on Peacock. We're not sponsored. I just want to tell you where you can watch stuff. Also, you can follow all of like the Olympic accounts, Team USA, and like ESPN, any of those kinds of things, and you'll see Olympic content if you want that in your regular newsfeed.
And I think you can stream these trials on the NBC Olympics website. I just feel that's not quite as seamless of an experience as like watching the app on your TV.
Sure.
But if there's a free option.
That's great. I didn't know that. I'm glad to know that because sometimes they make it hard. I know when the Olympics were like in Tokyo 3 years ago, which we haven't even talked about, but how because of 2020 they did it in 21, so like there's only a 3-year gap since the last Olympics, which like is a little bit of an advantage for people who won 3 years ago, I think, than like the people who I don't know, maybe it's not, who could say. But I think it's interesting. But it was like because events would happen like overnight and then they would re-show them during prime time, but online you would see already who won, and it was like kind of hard. So I feel like with Paris only being 6 hours ahead of East Coast, you like have less of that.
It's easier, I think.
More things will be, you'll be able to watch more things live. Sorry, Steph.
I love this
promotional content to how to engage with your
gotta know
content.
where to see it. And I think a big story going into gymnastics or this Olympics as a whole is Simone Biles. It's her 3rd Olympics, and she is amazing. Like you said, Ashlyn, she's got gymnast moves named after her, but in the Tokyo Olympics she got a little case of the twisties, which is where you feel a little displaced in the air. So we're just rooting for her because she has many world championships to her impressive resume. I mean, she does have 4 Olympic gold medals, so that's not too shabby either. But I think there's a lot of just that theme of like conquering and feeling probably in a better space than she was for the last Olympics, which she held herself like so gracefully, of course, because she's a champion through and through. But that's a huge storyline to watch, is kind of how will she respond to that. They have particular orders in the Olympic gymnasts, and for the men and women it's different, and I thought this was so fascinating, kind of deep diving into this. So the women, they do the vault first, and then they do uneven bars and the balance beam and the floor. And the floor is like where it's like the trampoline ground almost. I mean, it's very impressive. They can jump so high. And with the men, they start with the floor and then they go to the pommel horse. So that thing where you have to like, groove around it. The rings, the
You
vault,
kind of do break
the
dancing
bar.
on top of
Yeah,
the
it's
thing,
a very
right? Yeah,
impressive
okay.
dance moves.
Yeah.
A lot of strength.
It's a feat of strength for sure.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Mhm.
And then the parallel bars and the high bar. So that's kind of the layout of the different events. And so the way the team division works is top 8 go and compete in the team division. And so in years past, it's always been like 4 athletes of the team can compete in one event and 3 score. It's like 4 go, 3 count kind of situation.
Oh, okay.
Like, hey, for your women's team score, the top 3 floor events. I was reading something that this year that they're changing it, that maybe all 5 can participate. So that might be something to see with the little nuances of the rules.
Because each team has 5. Each team has 5.
They will
members?
have 5 members.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I feel like that changes your strategy a little bit, because I feel like the math is different when everyone is competing and everybody's scores count on every event. Whereas like, I don't know, I feel like it gives you a little bit of grace when only 3 out of 4 are scoring. So like maybe someone who's weaker in that area cannot work as hard maybe and save their energy for the thing they're really good at. Whereas like now when everybody's score counts, maybe that makes it look a little different.
But you still have an opportunity to get a medal for the individual events too.
True.
So it's like, hey, if you want to rack up medals, then
well, and if someone wants to like do tricks that are harder, like because those are scored higher, but they're not sure if they're going to be successful, you give someone like Simone a chance to like do an extra twist that's never been done before.
Right.
Because if she doesn't land it, you'll know that the other 3 scores can count if it like, makes her score lower. So I feel like it gives you the opportunity for excellence or to like phone it in depending on your strategy.
Yes.
Not that anyone is phoning anything in at the Olympics. I don't mean that in any way. That's like so pejorative.
No, but I'm picking up what you're throwing down for sure. And then it's going to be, so you have to get through like qualifying too. So this is to even get like to the next round.
So like the finals, yeah.
Yes. And another word for the next round, yes. But then there's like 24 gymnasts who will compete in each individual event. And those can be people outside of a designated team as well. So it's a lot of cool opportunities for medals. I mean, the things these people are capable of doing, sometimes they make it look so easy that it's just kind of like, oh yeah, but it's not like a caveman can do it. No, it is like they are phenomenal. And I think that's why, digressing back to Simone, and everyone kind of had something to say about the Twisties episode and how I think she's just so brave and incredible for just creating her boundary and just rooting for her to succeed. So yeah, that's kind of a scope of what the gymnastics is going to look like. But we'll see who joins our pals Brody and Simone.
Very exciting.
Amazing.
Lots to look forward to. Have you guys ever seen, I've seen like TikTok videos of, it's like college gymnasts who are like the women's team and the men's team. And it's like the men are trying to do the women's events and the women are trying to do the men's events. And it's like a reminder that the events are different. Very different.
They're hard.
And
they're hard in really different ways.
Hard in really different ways. Like the men really can't do the women's events and the women really can't do the men's events. And it's like, I always wondered why they were different. And I guess I get it. You train different sets of muscles. You'd use different things.
Yeah.
I feel like when I watch the men, it looks like they are throwing their bodies around. And when I watch the women, it looks like they are gliding.
Graceful. Very different.
It just feels so different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I'm so pumped for the gymnastics events.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be so fun. And I love the uniforms. I just think that they're always so beautiful. And like I love the colors. There's a lot of sparkles. I'm way into that.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time.
I just love it. I love it. Okay.
Do you want to tell us about tennis?
Yes, I do want to talk to you about tennis. So I'm learning a lot about tennis because I watched the movie Challengers.
I haven't seen that yet.
You're
It's good.
official. Yeah.
It's good. No, it makes me it made me like I just like tennis is not something I know a lot about, but I'm learning a lot. I know some of the names of like great tennis players because I live in the world and I watch a lot of pop culture things. But for the Olympics, what you have are both men and women compete, and then they do singles and doubles, like in men's and women's competitions, and then they have mixed doubles, which is like a man and a woman, which is very cool.
I love that.
I just think that's really fun. For single matches, it's a best of 3 sets with a standard tie break in every set. And so I think it's pretty similar to other big competitions like the Grand Slams of the world. The location for the tennis events is going to be on the Roland Garros, which is the home of the French Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a French way to say it. I'm doing it badly. That's fine.
None of us are French.
Hi, forever.
We're not French. Roland Garros.
Roland Garros.
Roland Garros, which is the home of the French Open, which is pretty cool. This competition is happening only 2 weeks after Wimbledon, which they play on grass. Roland Garros is played on clay, and then 3 weeks after the Olympic tournament is at the U.S. Open, which is played on hard courts. And so it's like tennis is one of these things that is like not played uniformly, and it's not like in other like beach volleyball. You have beach volleyball, and then you have like indoor volleyball, which are just totally different sports with like different numbers of people and all of that kind of thing. It's like so interesting to have a sport that is played on such varied court situations, but it's the same people still competing. I just think that's really interesting.
It makes
And
me
probably hard to train for.
I wonder if the Olympics tennis is always played on clay, or if that's something that changes based on where they are.
I imagine it changes based on where they are, because I would think if they're in Great Britain, I cannot imagine that they're not playing at Wimbledon. And they don't change those courts for anything.
No.
So,
No.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Something to Google, I guess. That's a good question that I should have asked in my preparation. Okay, so some of the big time players that you might have heard of are Rafael Nadal from Spain. He already owns gold medals in singles and doubles. In 2008, he won singles. In 2016, he won doubles. He's had 22 Grand Slam titles, and he's dominant on clay, but he's nearing the end of his career. They think this could be his potentially his final Olympics. And so he's actually skipping Wimbledon this year in order to prepare for the Olympics, which I think is interesting. You knew that?
Yeah. I did hear that because he's the king of clay. Cool. So I think he's like, I'm just focusing everything on this clay tournament. Yeah. Go out with the bang.
And then the other, Carlos Alcaraz, I think. He is going to be he's playing in the singles tournament, but also he'll be the doubles partner for Nadal, which is cool. They are expected to do well. Ranked number 1 is Italy's Yannick Sinner. And he's playing in singles and doubles with Lorenzo Musetti. Sorry, I wanted to talk about like the people might have heard of, but I'm realizing now that I only know the really popular name of the doubles set. So I'm just sorry. I respect you, all of you.
But we're so sorry. We don't know how to say it.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it.
Okay.
But one of the do you have a question? Do you have a thought?
I did Google
the
court thing.
Ooh, live updates.
Live update. Ashlyn.
The playing surface of the court varies between Olympic Games. It's been on a hard court, so what we think of when we think of a tennis court, for every game except the 1992 Olympics, which were on a clay court, and the 2012, which were on grass. And so this is the first time in a long time that we're going to be playing on a clay court. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, and what the person I'm going to talk about next, Novak Djokovic, he does not play that well on clay historically in his career. And he had knee surgery following the French Open. It's likely his final Olympics as well because of how far along he is in his career. And my understanding is that the only major award that he doesn't have in his collection is a gold medal at the Olympics.
Interesting.
He
wants it.
Hardware. So that's
Yeah, he has won 24 Grand Slam singles trophies, but he's hoping to claim an Olympic gold medal for the first time. He earned a bronze in 2008, but he's never gotten the gold. So some people, he's a little bit of a controversial figure off the court, and I think probably on, but I think all competitors at that level probably have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. I think you kind of have to. But I know that he has some big fans and some less fans in the world. So that's really interesting. On the women's side, we have Coco Gauff from the U.S. She made the Olympic team for Tokyo for the U.S. For the Tokyo Olympics at age 17, but she was a late withdrawal because she tested positive for COVID. So this will be her first opportunity to play. And then we have Iga Swiatek from Poland. She's a dominant figure in women's tennis since 2022. And 4 of her 5 Grand Slam titles happened at Roland Garros, where they're going to be happening. The latest just happened in June. She bowed out in the second round of the Tokyo Olympics. So it'll be interesting to see how the women fare.
I mean, that gives her a huge advantage since it sounds like she's already really good at playing clay and has been playing really well at this court. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Absolutely.
We also have on the Coco Gauff age thing you were saying, at 17, most people haven't graduated high school, and it's what am I going to wear for prom? And she was just walking through, hey, I made the Olympic team. I mean, I just think Olympic incredible. Ages and prodigies, it's mind blowing.
100%. 100%. From Italy, there's a woman, Jasmine Paolini. She was the French Open runner-up this year in both singles and doubles, and she's making her way to the Olympics to compete, which is just very, very exciting. For the U.S., we have sorry, I moved the names that I was just looking at. Where are those names? Sorry. For the men, we have for the Team USA, Taylor Fritz, Tommy Paul, Francis Tiofo, Sebastian Corda, and Rahiv Ram. And for the women, we have Coco Gauff, Jessa Pegula, Danielle Collins, Madison Keys, Nicole Mellicar Martinez, and Rahiv and Nicole are playing in mixed doubles for the today. I'm not sure which men or women are playing in doubles. I'm not sure if that's been decided or if they all pair up and then play in a tournament style. Sorry, I hit my microphone. Play in a tournament style to determine how it goes. So I think tennis is going to be really exciting this year. I think playing on clay is it is interesting that the hard courts are so much the standard and they're doing something different this time. So
yeah, but this court is so famous and it's so French that I think it would just be wild to do anything else. So I get it.
Yeah.
Very
and a
French.
lot of people who have played, a lot of these people have played the French Open. That's
right.
Because there are these tournaments that happen, people come through and they play in these places. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited to see what will happen. And I'm just getting more excited each day for the Olympics to come.
Okay.
I love the Olympic theme song all the time. It's just, I can't wait to hear it all summer. It's going to be great.
If you want more tennis, I don't know if you guys do Netflix, but there is a tennis documentary, quote unquote documentary type thing. What is it called? Point Break, I think. That literally is just sort of the F1 show that everyone loves. Mm-hmm. It's very much the same vibe, but with all the big tennis players. And it just is sort of following them around as they're playing tennis. Cool. And, as your off the court liaison, I love it because it's talking about all of their like very regular human problems that they have.
I love that.
And it just is so fun. And it got me really jazzed to be like, I don't know anything about tennis, but this sounds exciting. So if you want something to watch to get you even more pumped to watch tennis in the Olympics, Point Break, Netflix.
Point Break.
That's
Good
good.
watch.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, just a reminder that we're doing like lead-in episodes as we get ready for the Olympics, giving you a little primer. We're recording these in mid-June, so you may or may not, some things might change before we get there. That always happens. But we're excited to be with you on this journey, and yeah, just excited about the Olympics.
Go Team USA.
Go Team USA. Go tennis. Go gymnastics. We're very excited. Well, everybody, this has been another episode of Sports Ladies Podcast. We're so glad that you've joined us today. My name's Ashlyn.
I'm Nifer.
And I'm Steph.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.